Hello again. I thought of doing a video on something which is very basic. But recently I've been talking to some people, medical and non-medical. And it looked like there was a lot of misconception or misunderstanding about the cholesterol and its component in our blood. So I thought I will do a video which is very basic, fundamental understanding of the cholesterol. So a lot of times cholesterol is referred to as lipids or lipid profile is the lab test which is done, which includes measurements of cholesterol and its subgroups, the HDL and LDL is calculated. Measurement of triglyceride is also done, which is separate from cholesterol. As you can imagine, and those of us who have done some experiments in the college, fats are not soluble in the water, and the blood is basically a water. So the fats to be carried in the blood have to be attached to something, and that's what is called lipoprotein. So fat as such cannot be transferred. Subsequently, we have cholesterol, which is a fat, is transferred through the blood with attaching to certain proteins. And so that's how it is. The triglyceride is independent of cholesterol. Since the Framingham study, which was done several years ago, we have realized that there is a direct correlation between cholesterol, lipid components, and development of coronary artery disease and strokes. Please also note, which is commonly forgotten fact, that the blood pressure control is as essential as control of lipids for the coronary artery disease and strokes. A lot of times when people quote Framingham study, they don't mention anything other than cholesterol. So cholesterol is a fat which is essential. The fats are essential for function of the brain, production of vitamin D, production of various hormones. Nerves, cells need cholesterol and the body needs cholesterol. Again, we're talking about right now the blood fats. We're not talking about total body fat. We're not talking about visceral fat, which is a fat which is around our viscera or our organs, or the abdominal fat, etc. That is entirely a different topic. So as I said, cholesterol, which is a fat, needs to be carried through the blood. And there are various components. The common ones that are mentioned is an HDL, which is high density lipoprotein, lipid combined with proteins. The other one is low density lipoprotein, which is again lipid combined with lipoprotein or other protein. There is the VLDL and intermittent density lipoprotein, which are not often measured independently. Sometimes people talk about non-HDL cholesterol, which is majority is LDL plus VLDL. And sometimes people talk about triglycerides, which are independent of cholesterol. Please note that sometimes people talk about the ratio between total cholesterol and HDL, and this is again calculated. So the measurement of cholesterol done fasting or non-fasting doesn't change a whole lot. Triglyceride measurements will change. And it is very interesting fact, which is often not known, is that body has a variation in the measurements of cholesterol total on, of course, the HDL, LDL too. The variation can be as much as 10%. In some studies, it has been shown to be as much as 18%. So you may have a cholesterol of 200 measured. In reality, at a different time, it could be 180 or 220. The cholesterol level elevated is directly related to the development of coronary artery disease. But out of that cholesterol, majority of the cholesterol is carried through LDL. And LDL cholesterol is a bad cholesterol. It is lipo. It produces plaques. Plaques cause the blockage of the blood vessels in circulation. And that leads to higher incidence of coronary artery disease and strokes. So LDL, or low density lipoprotein, LDL, is bad. HDL is high density lipoprotein. It is good. So different way of saying it, higher HDL is good, lower HDL is bad, higher LDL is bad, lower LDL is good. So in an HDL, something above 50 or even maybe 55 would be considered normal, 60 would be good. Less than 40 is considered detrimental and increases incidence of coronary artery disease. LDL standpoint, the LDL needs to be controlled. More than 100 is bad, less than 100 is good. If somebody has diabetes, then achieving levels of LDL at level of 60 or 70 is desirable. Cholesterol is completely animal origin fat. So if you are completely vegan or vegetarian without even dairy products, then you are not getting in any cholesterol. So your cholesterol intake is zero. However, the body produces cholesterol, which is about 80 to 90% on its own. So the dietary cholesterol is only 10%. Milk is an animal product, and so it does contain cholesterol. Hydrogenated fat, saturated fats are bad. And if you want to reduce the cholesterol, then they need to be reduced. I'll come to that in a minute. So when you measure the cholesterol total and minus the directly measured HDL, LDL is calculated. The triglycerides component is divided by pi, and then you get the total cholesterol and LDL. So LDL is measured in very rare circumstances. LDL is completely calculated from total cholesterol minus HDL. If you want to reduce the cholesterol, completely avoiding cholesterol in the diet, red meat, egg yellow, and many other things, or any animal product, you will reduce by 10-15%. But body does make it, so it can compensate for that. If you want to reduce the cholesterol, you can avoid saturated fats, you can avoid hydrogenated fat, and you can take in more fresh fruits, vegetables, legumes, or mainly the whole grains. Also taking fiber, and of course the fiber is used to treat the cholesterol levels. 80th percentile cholesterol in a Framingham study was associated with double the risk of 20th percentile cholesterol levels. So yes, it is directly related to it. Secondly, to remember is certain drinks, green tea, pomegranate juice, can also help to reduce the cholesterol. So in short, to summarize this, cholesterol is a fat. 90% of it is made by your body. 10% comes from diet. Measurement of cholesterol total and HDL is done. LDL is calculated. Bad cholesterol is LDL. We got to reduce that. Good cholesterol is HDL. We got to try to increase it. Besides medicine, taking fibers, avoiding saturated fat, avoiding hydrogenated fat, avoiding trans fat, taking in fibers, fruits, whole grains will help to balance the good cholesterol versus bad cholesterol. Again, this is a very basic, fundamental understanding of the cholesterol. I hope you like it. If you like it, please subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day.